thought so too. Okay. Alright, let me... Okay. Alright, so... Alright, I will just... Like, I'm not really anal about the time. You know what I mean? Like, it's 1:50 right now. You know what I mean? So, whatever. Alright, so you have questions, right? So I'm just gonna, like, draw and write them out, and then, like, we'll address them. Like, just copy-paste them or something if you have... You have them written out, right?
I have them written out, so I'm just gonna take them because I wrote them on my phone on my way home. So let me just do that on my phone real quick. Uh, There we go.
Okay.
It's quite a lot, but like, yeah, that's the main issues, I suppose.
Alright. I'm just gonna copy-paste them. Holy crap. Oh, okay. I thought it was
Like,
small,
we
and
don't
then it was actually a lot. It's okay.
Yeah.
Let's make the font, like, 14. Is that it? That's it, right?
Apparently I'm a bit quiet, dude. I'm just gonna turn off the sound of my mic.
Okay.
So I got your chat here, and they're saying you can't hear me properly, so...
No, that's on my end, sorry. I have to just,
okay.
every time I start a stream, I have to adjust the OBS thing. That's fine.
Okay.
Dude,
I can
great and lame, one mistake, small balls into... And this is all centered at Z, except for the bottom?
No, it's actually centered at, like, even though I used to be a Z1 trick pony, I'm actually trying to branch out a bit. Like, I'm getting pretty good at Oriana, and like I'm trying to learn other mid laners as well. Trying to stay a bit in the meta, but yeah.
Okay. Alright, so tilt. Do great and lane, one mistake snowballs into another. Oh geez, I can't. I have to press Control Z. Okay. Do great and lane, one mistake snowballs into another. Strongly affected by Twitch. What do you mean by this? Twitch, YouTube.
Oh, it's like the pressure of like having to be at a higher yellow, because like if I'm not, I get all these comments. I mean that's any YouTuber, of course, but like I guess that's difficult for a coach to fix, but like it's just pressure to be like higher yellow.
And does that just come with like fan base? Like, are you reliant on your income from YouTube and Twitch?
No, I'm not relying at all. I have a job, so it's no.
Okay, but are you trying to make Twitch and YouTube?
I'm trying to make it. Yeah, I'm trying to make it my
okay, so that's
like
why
the big thing.
Okay.
And like not being high low, yeah.
All right, this is the hardest thing, because if you aren't like challenger or something, then obviously you need like a niche, right? Like you need something that's like stupid. Either you can basically do cheesy shit, which is like, you know, bronze to challenger, but the player is actually not challenger, but they just say bronze to challenger. They're like diamond 1. You know what I mean? So they're able to just constantly sift between low elo IDs, and they never get caught because people like just won't put 2 and 2 together. And the people that do put 2 and 2 together, they're such like a minority that like it never gets recognized. Do you know what I mean? Like they try to voice their opinion, they get drowned out in the pool. You know, it's kind of like how Al Gore... No, never mind. Anyways, so, do great in lane, one mistake snowballs into another. What do you mean by that?
I mean, like, for the first, like, 5 waves, last hit perfectly, dodge everything beautifully, and then I miss 1 CS, everything falls apart. Miss all the CS, get hit by skill shots, miss my skill shots, it's a mess.
So you mean this is all psychological? Like, not like you die and then you don't know how to recover?
Well, that's another thing, like... If I die once, I can still catch up, but if I die twice, I just shut down, like, by tier and don't do anything in the entire game. Like, Oriana, just stay mid lane, try to farm, do nothing. Because I can't catch up, I don't know how to catch up properly, like, it's, yeah.
Okay. I mean, a lot of this is hard for me to explain without actually seeing you. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm going off it. But basically, all right. So let me address the Twitch and YouTube thing first, because this is the easiest to simply address. Now, obviously, for some reason, you do have to care about like how people view you, you know, because if you're trying to turn this into like a job or something, then, you know, whatever. Hold on. Let me look at your YouTube really quick. Can you link it to me?
Oh yeah, sure. Give me a
link me your YouTube and link me your.
There's my channel. Like, it's obviously not the biggest channel, but whatever, let me see, I can send you in Skype, there we go, and then the Twitch,
Well, you have 40,000 subs. It's not bad. It's more than me. Okay.
Yeah,
It's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, it's not like the super high people like in the League
No,
community
obviously
that
not.
have like they're in the six figures, but it's
Exactly.
not it's not bad. Zed lesson number 3, Zed lesson number 2, Zed lesson number 1.
Up until 12, and I have like 4 Z montages.
Okay, and how long?
What was that?
5 minutes or 4. Okay, so the issue is that okay, if you're gonna try to turn this into a job of sorts, okay, if you're only gonna play now, I know you said that you're gonna try to branch off into other champions and stuff, but frankly, I don't know how that exactly goes because like, let me like I mean no offense to this person, okay, but I'm about to pull them up on stream. Hold on. Now this is like the biggest example of the person doesn't understand the game, but they understand their champion so much that it doesn't matter. Okay? Here's Aurelia carries you. Look at the atrocity that is her other champions, or his other champions. Okay? Like this Katarina thing, it's only 13 games, so it's kind of like a fluke. Like, I mean, yeah, 162 right here. 51% win rate, whatever. But, like, you go into other champions, Jack's 54% win rate, but he dies more than he does anything else. I mean, that's pretty bad. You know, like, he doesn't actually understand the game. And so this is an issue that you're going to face. It's kind of like Housep, where if you begin to branch off from your Zed and Orianna, you're going to fall really hard. You know? And so you can't aim to grow your Twitch and your YouTube or whatever, unless you strive and you make efforts to actually understand the game that goes beyond your champion. Also, going beyond your champion is probably what affects this. One mistake snowballs into another. Is basically because it's probably that you don't actually understand what's going on, but you understand your champion. Okay, so if this is, mid lane or something, and Zed's standing here and they're standing here, and like maybe there's random minions and, whatever, etc. You probably know an answer to the situation for Zed, not for if this is a Kali, not for if this is Jax, not for if there's a jungler right here, not for, if Blue's about to be coming up in 30 seconds. You don't, all these other variables like CS, kills, jungler standing here, bot lane getting shoved in, etc. You're probably not conscious of them, like, in the moment, right? Like, you're probably conscious in Zed and everything that pertains to Zed, right? And so, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. No, I mean, the whole, like, one mistake snowballs into another, it's happening more often than it used to, I should say. Like, it's not every single time I do one mistake and everything crashes. It's like, before, like, when I was high elo, because I'm not high elo anymore, when I was high elo, it didn't happen. Now it happens all the time. So
people
I don't
are getting
know if
better.
Yeah, people are also getting better, but I'm also dropping in elo, so like I should be finding a balance soon where I'm not just
Well, wait a minute, hold on. Now, let me address something, right? Isn't, like, correct me if I'm wrong, chat can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't follow patch notes and everything until, like, it's live, and even then I don't really follow it too intensely. Basically, isn't this season, isn't the MMR, everything went up, like, 100 or something? So, like, right now, okay, like, if you were Diamond 1 Masters, right, in Season 4 or something, that equals what now? That equals Diamond 3?
I have no idea.
I think it's something like that. I want to say it's Diamond 2, Diamond 3 right now. I think. I'm not totally sure on that. Or maybe that's just how it is. I don't know. If I'm wrong, then correct me. But that might be what you're talking about right there. Like, if you're falling in elo and you're around these numbers now, it actually makes sense.
Okay.
Let me just see what chat's saying about that.
Yeah, sure.
People are saying, fuck. Yeah, people are saying, holy fuck, some of the chat's being trolly. Alright, no one's commenting on it. Someone said I'm wrong about it, but I don't know if that's in reference to what I just said. But
I don't know, like, no one really, does anyone really know the MMR stuff? Because, like, they don't really show the MMR, do they?
No, but Riot made some comment about it, I think. Or, like, remember when Master Tier came out, it fucked the MMRs?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Okay, like, that was really weird, and it put, like, a clamp on everything Platinum 5 and above. Or, like, it was something weird. And then once preseason came, there was some issue, and then I think once Season 5 launched, I think every MMR went up 100.
Yep.
Or something like that. And then also the gaps between the MMRs at like Diamond 5 and above, I think also increased by 25.
Okay.
So rather than 50, you know what I mean? 50 MMR points between Diamond 4 to Diamond 3, I think it became 75 points.
Okay.
You know, obviously it's hard to calculate MMR because there's no real site. I think IPL.kr has like a real calculation, but it doesn't work for other servers.
Okay.
But that's kind of irrelevant. But that might actually be what you're experiencing, is that you're actually at the same elo. I may be wrong. You're at the same elo, so you shouldn't let that affect you. The other thing is that, how often do you play, like, off-stream and stuff?
Oh, I actually try to stream most of my games right now, because, like, I have work from, like, 7 to... And then I get home at, like, 6, and then, you know, you gotta sleep as well, and eat, and do chores, and all that stuff.
Right.
So you try to also get some streaming in, so it's, like... I stream most of my games right now.
Okay. That, I mean, I wouldn't recommend streaming all your games, especially if, like, you're gonna begin to diversify, because you have to diversify. So basically, like all things, before you get better, you have to take, you know, 2 steps back.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You have to fall before you can rise again. And that's something that people don't understand, especially, like, the public's eye. Is basically all that they'll see is that you play a new champion, right? Like, say you play fucking, I don't know, Shen all of a sudden, right? You, like, trade, you know, you fucking betray Zed. And,
Yeah.
you pick Shen, and you know, you lose 20 games in a row. They're like, oh, well, this guy's so bad. When in reality, you're learning other aspects of the game. And then after you lose 20 games, you're going to re-go up 20 games, but then the knowledge that you learned actually puts you even higher, slightly. Even if, like, you stay the same MMR, you are better, in some way. So, you know, you have to do something like that, because you're going to just get stuck if you continue to play just 2 champions, like Zed and Orianna.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did, because I was only, like, I only picked up Orianna this season.
Yeah.
And then I dropped the first game, dropped viewers, dropped everything, then climbed back up. It's exactly as you said it, actually.
So yeah. Okay, so basically you're gonna have to play off stream. Like you can figure out some way around that, or like, I don't know, fucking anything. Like just to figure out how to play off stream. And play other champions. Now, like, Zed, fortunately for yourself, is a high mechanical champion, so other champions should be somewhat simpler and easy for you to play. So you do that, and it's good.
Suggestions?
What, for mid lane? Mid lane,
Yeah,
or
for
all
mid
other lanes?
For mid lane, I just want to learn mid lane right now.
You already play Ori, right? Hold on here.
Yeah, I'm really trying to learn Ori. She's a lot of fun to play.
All right, so you play Orianna, you play Zed.
I play Talon and I play Yasuo.
You can play
Those
Talon.
are my 4 champions that I really play, and then I can play TF, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I would play. I mean, okay, if those are your main 3, then yeah, like play TF more, play Twisted Fate more, play Zeroth, play Lulu. Lulu, it looks like the biggest oddball out of all your champions, so that's really good. Because she's the most different from everything else that you're doing. I mean, Orianna's kind of the same with her in some ways, but for the most part, no.
How about LeBlanc then? For like the similarity with Zed.
Yeah, LeBlanc is the AP Zed, so that's completely fine. Like, you can play mirrors, but just try to diversify yourself. And then if you want a really cheesy fucking, like, I remember, I'm not gonna say who said it, but there was a pro player at fucking LCS, and he was like, oh, that's why he's so high on the ladder. Annie's really, really powerful for solo queue.
Oh god, I hate that champion.
It's like, she's so simple, but she's so she's so strong for solo queue because her burst is so misunderstood, and her weaknesses generally aren't abused because it's solo queue, you know, and that's why Annie bot's challenger. So, with that being said, you can play her. Like, if you want a very simple champion that just lets you think. So, you know, that's completely fine. And then, you know, so we've already addressed the Twitch and the YouTube. The other thing is, if you want to grow your Twitch and your YouTube, and you want to stay true to being Zed, or like a Zed, or like a 2-trick or a 3-trick pony or something, right? You're going to need to be ridiculously good at those champions. It's kind of like Box with Riven. Like, Box could fucking play Riven for the rest of his life, and he would still get viewers, and he could make videos, etc., right? But if you take fucking, Jerk Me Off 6769 from Platinum 3, who, streams when his mother allows him to, and, he tries to fucking make videos and stuff, then it's just not going to happen.
No, I get your point.
Yeah. So, I mean, but the other alternative is if you play all these other champions, it opens up your business area in the sense that you can begin to make videos that are more catered to a much broader audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like there's a lot of coaches, right? Especially in the LoL scene. Most of them aren't known. When you hear the name coach, you think of like literally 5 people in the West. But there's more than just 5. There's more than just me, Loco, Scara, Charlie, Peter, Rico's the new Dignant. There's more than just the names that you hear lately and like publicly. If you go on LOLcast, there's probably like, maybe it's not LOLcast, maybe there's some other site. There's like dozens. And the reason that you don't hear about them is because like it'll be like fucking, I only teach mid lane, or I only teach mid lane these champions, or I only teach top lane these champions, etc. And it's like, you're not even actually a good coach. Like, I would, even if it's like, all right, so in a hypothetical situation where Box actually knows more than me, so like in a situation like that, okay, and I was going to get coaching, and I had an option to get coaching from a random challenger top laner or mid laner, right, on Riven, or get it from Box. Like, if the challenger top mid laner is more consistent and not as randomized as Box, I would always go with the challenger / mid, because he's more solid. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, his game knowledge and game approach is better. Because if you get it from Box, you can't spend all the time in the world with Box. So all the situations and stuff that you were to learn from him would be isolated in that same scenario that we talked about earlier. Which was kind of like that mid lane thing where, like X and you have etc. And because Box is he's a craftsman of this, you don't actually learn about the big picture.
Okay.
And so that's all. So that should address your YouTube and Twitch. The other thing is, like, if you're affected by chat or something, you can still interact with chat, but you can do like the thing where you hide it, and then when you want to go answer a question, then you open it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or you just, I don't know how much you interact with chat or whatever. The other thing is you can't really be affected by YouTube. I don't see how you can be affected by YouTube.
Well, it's more the like, okay, I'm low elo, and then going to YouTube. All right, see, oh, no YouTube comments. Okay, yeah, I'm low elo still. Yeah, yeah. And then it's the like, okay, I gotta play to increase elo. It's stupid, but it's what's happening.
No, but it's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to address that. Like, comments from the public are like, I don't understand how, like, you can't let it affect your business. Like, I understand what you mean. Yeah. What the hell was that? Did you hear that?
Like, it was what?
Okay. No, sorry. There was like a... The hell? Okay. Go ahead.
No, it was easier when I actually was high elo, because then I could be like, well, I'm high elo, so it doesn't really matter. But,
I get what you're saying. Okay, so... Alright, next thing. I mean, does that answer these questions? Like the snowball thing?
I think it does, yeah, the snowball thing. And mainly just, focus on picking up, like... I don't think you're doing that effectively, by the way.
No, I wasn't. Okay.
Okay, where was I gonna... pick up other champions to get the bigger picture, I understand, yeah.
Okay. So anyways, loss of skill peaked, master... I think we already addressed this, actually.
We already addressed this, definitely.
We already addressed that, okay. So that's pretty much all that, whatever. Okay, mechanically inconsistent, what does this mean?
It means that if I snowball my lane, I can win the entire game myself. Like, if I get a 1 gank early, I can just snowball the entire game. Sometimes. That's the weird thing. Sometimes I can just take the advantage and perform perfectly within. Sometimes I just, alright, I got a kill, now I can farm better. I don't know, this is the same thing. This is why I also want to have a live coaching later on. So you can see it in real time, because it's fucking weird. So it was just a small point I thought of. I don't think you can actually address much of it right now, but...
Mechanically, like, I'm trying to understand. Like, okay, wait. So if you get a kill, you snowball your lane. If you don't get a kill and the game's even, you feel weird.
No, how do I even explain? It's if I go up against the same guy 3 games in a row, and I dominate him the first game, the second game I can just as well lose because I make one mistake, one single mistake, and then I can't catch up from it. It's like you said before. It's the whole like I don't know. It's I think it's psychological. It's mental stuff. So.
Well, of course it's psychological. All right. So I know you've been on my stream for a while, whatever. Have you ever heard me talk about the Faker Riven thing?
No, actually not.
I would be more afraid of Faker with 2 items.
Oh yeah, actually no, I have, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I would be more Faker. I would be more afraid of Faker's Riven that has 2 items than a random Diamond 1 Riven with 5 items.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just because the control and the emotional discipline and like everything is completely different. So while that Diamond 1 only sees bloodlust and like they aim for kills and they look to carry, etc. Faker calculates and does everything, and he looks for the most optimal spot to use the least resources to still get the goal.
Yeah. I understand.
And so basically that's what I think is happening here is like you don't know how to. Basically, it's something I told SHC a very long time ago. Where if they know how to do better with 1 item versus 1 item, you know what I mean? If they're the best at 1 item versus 1 item, then simply just by like resisting fights and like forcing a 20-minute game with no kills, etc., then they'll be the best in that atmosphere. Whereas most players at 20 minutes, they're either used to being behind, in which they have a certain play style, or they're used to being ahead, which they have a certain play style. They're not used to being even. Because honestly, who plays solo queue, 12 hours a day, in every single game they're even? No one.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Most times they win, they snowball. Most times. Like, I'm going to say 60 or, 70% or something, right? They snowball or they get, an early kill or a gank or something. And most times they lose, something, like, is catastrophic. Like, some lane goes 0-6, etc. And it's not realistic to them. But in games where they go even, that's where the real skill, starts to show.
Okay, and I understand what you mean. I just don't understand how I should apply this. Because if we have a 20-minute farm game in mid, at some point someone's gonna roam somewhere, and it's not gonna be like you can't force the entire team 20 minutes to not, like I can't. How do you apply this? This idea.
Okay, so let's say that for some reason you're 0-2-0, right, in mid lane. Okay, and you're down like 40 CS. Okay.
Yep.
What are you gonna do to come back against the Orianna? Like, what's your first thought?
Well, I guess I'd ask for a gank.
Why? Your lane's already lit ablaze. It's wrong to ask for a gank. The jungler coming to your lane at that point is wrong, unless your champion is a core component to a victory.
Okay, well then I mean, it depends. If I was ganked and that's why I died, then. But if it's just me mechanically being outplayed twice by an Orianna, then I don't know. Actually, I'd just farm up, ward up, make sure to ping when she roams, and try to push.
All right.
Grab wraiths.
Basically, what you should be aiming to do is just like you're kind of. Oh Jesus! What the hell did I just do?
You zoomed out. There you go. No, there you. What the hell?
What the hell did I just do?
Control Z. You should be zooming back in, but...
No, I can't. The fuck?
Okay, then I have no idea.
That was really weird. Alright, whatever. We'll just do that.
Ah, there it works.
That works a little bit. Or whatever. Alright, that's fine.
Alright, yeah, sure.
Okay. So, basically, if you ever fall really far behind, you have to be the type of person that that... Basically, okay, so how many games on Zed do you have? Like 2,000 or something?
Yeah, something along those lines.
Okay, so you have 2,000 games on Zed, which means that most people in your match or something, okay, even if they play like 10 games a day or something, the most experience they have against Zed is probably something like 150 games.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So like, that's assuming that they were playing during like Zed's peak era, and that's also assuming that they're not like Zed mains as well or something like that.
Yeah.
What in the fuck? Whatever. So what I mean by that is basically you know more aspects of Zed, or, I mean, I guess you just started Ori, so I can't say it about Oriana.
No, I don't know that much. I mean, I've played so many games against Oriana, but that's
Right.
whatever.
So basically, like, you need to get to the point in the game where your like very minor knowledge of Zed, not minor, where basically the minutia that surrounds Zed becomes relevant. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, you know that, like, standing in bot brush, here's bot tower, here's the opening to golems, here's golem 1, here's golem 2, you know, and then there's another brush. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? Like, this lane?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it
no.
comes around to red, and then there's the brush
Yeah,
over
yeah,
here.
no.
Alright, good. Okay, so with that being said, like, you need to get to the points where you excel, like at Zed. Like, you know the damage foresight, you know exactly how much damage you do, you know the ground that you cover, you know whatever. You need to ensure that the game gets to this point. You don't need to come back. You don't need to, you know, make yourself relevant damage-wise. You need to make yourself relevant in the ways that Zed excels.
I don't quite understand what you mean.
Okay, so basically most people think that if they're not carrying, the game's lost.
Yeah.
Okay. There is more ways to carry than just kills.
Yeah.
Right? If you're in bot lane and they don't have anyone on their enemy team that can just come and 1v1 you, you know what I mean? Then that means that they have to send 2 people to you. Even if you don't kill them, you've demanded attention that you otherwise wouldn't. Because if you're in the team fight, the 2 people are already there, you're there. It doesn't matter, okay? You need to find other ways to make yourself useful. Alright? Now, if you're ahead, okay, and you still do this, maybe they can't just send 2 people to you, maybe they have to send 3. Or maybe, you know, even if they send 1 person to you, that 1 person's standing like a bitch behind the towers. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I understand.
There's different variables. You can't always think that when you're behind that you just have to get gold, look for kills, and then play normally. That's not, you know, like, you're just going to lose that way. One of the biggest things that I think like, even teams, like pro players, etc., I think the biggest strategical like warfare aspect that people misunderstand in League of Legends is guerrilla warfare.
Okay.
I like, honest to God, I don't know how it is so misunderstood, even by pros. Guerrilla warfare is basically a way to make do with less and still achieve, like, a pretty adequate result, right? If you don't know what guerrilla warfare is, you can just...
I know
okay,
it is. I know.
all right. So you just look it up and stuff. So when you're mechanically inconsistent, then use your knowledge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you are 0-3, obviously your mechanics, maybe they're not shit, but you're getting shit on mechanically, right?
Yeah.
So then just take your knowledge of what Zed does in the side lanes and how much distance he can close, and you know exactly what you're going to do to a certain champion if they show up. Like, there's so many times where, okay, so if someone's in mid lane with you, right, and you're right here, and they're at lethal, right? Like, you know you have lethal on them if they're at 60% HP, right?
Yep. Yep.
And they're at 50%. Well, then you know that you're, you know, like, okay, so for 60% HP, this is your lethal ring. Like, if they step within this zone...
exactly this.
Okay. So, at 60% HP, this is your lethal ring. Like, you can throw in W, you can move forward twice, like, you know, moving, hit, etc. In this ring. Outside of this ring... Where the fuck's my mouse? Outside of this ring... Let me just switch. What the fuck? Okay, outside of this ring, they're safe. Okay?
Yeah.
And then if their HP value drops to 50%, well then, you know, this ring becomes like the lethal ring.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, because then you don't need the walk auto.
Yeah.
Now you just need to fucking throw W, R, you know, QE, whatever, and they die. Okay?
Yeah.
So this has nothing to do with mechanics.
Okay.
This is just, you know, like, you can't step there. So if you were doing a 1v1 challenge with someone, and you're talking to them, and they go into CS, you can tell them you can't do that. Because you know exactly the distance Zed can close, you know, and what you can do. So the same way that this applies inside of the laning phase, you need to apply it outside of the laning phase at 40 minutes.
I understand.
You know? And, like, that will make up or fix your mechanical inconsistencies and allow you to salvage games.
Okay.
So, I mean, I haven't seen you play, like I said, but like, that would probably be the best option. The next thing, ladder anxiety and obsession. I don't know what obsession refers to. Inferiority and superiority complex. What do you mean by this?
This means that I think I'm worse than everyone, but I want to be better. Like, I want to be much better, but I think I'm worse than everyone. It's might not even be relevant here, but I just thought I'd write it down.
Okay. Ladder anxiety.
I
Why? Because of the Twitch and YouTube thing?
Yeah, also because of like I'm not seeing progress at all. I'm seeing like me myself going backwards instead of progressing.
Mhm.
So from Master Tier to Diamond, I was actually stuck in Diamond 5. That was yeah. Let's not talk about that. But not progressing, and then the obsession of having to actually make something with with all the time I spent. So,
Okay. Make something in what sense? Like for video?
like, no, like progressing actually, like, because it's more than just the videos and the stream. Like personally, I also want to improve and get a higher rank and all that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I mean, we addressed ladder anxiety.
We have probably we have pretty much.
Obsession with it. I mean, that again, it comes down to psychological. Like, yeah, you can have people coach you through it, but unless you're paying for someone to literally sit there with you through your solo queue sessions, which you don't need me for, you can have a friend do it. Like you can do that. The inferiority and superiority thing, that's a little bit weird. Like, I mean that borderlines like, I mean that's borderline bizarre. Like, you know what I mean? I've never met anyone that actually goes into every game thinking that they're worse. Usually it's the opposite, right? Hence LOL. Huh?
Really? I don't know, dude. I always consider myself worse than my opponent, like, until I beat them.
I think that's really weird for a player that has 2,000 games on Zed.
Well, I mean...
Do you know what I mean? Like, for you to go into matches knowing that you have 2,000 games played on your champion, and for you to still feel weak...
Yeah.
That's really fucking weird. That would be like Fedor Emelianenko before he actually got his second loss or whatever, going into every fight thinking, actually, this guy's gonna probably shit on me. Like, it doesn't... it doesn't actually make any sense. Like...
It's not that I think I'm like, okay, I'm the worst player in this game. If I don't, like, I have to win mid or whatever. It's more like, until I beat this guy, I'm worse than this guy.
Okay.
And compared to every other known Zed player, until I can prove that I'm better than them, I'm worse than them. And, like, I want to be better. That's the superiority and inferiority thing that comes in.
Okay.
And I guess it adds on to the pressure.
Okay. I mean, that's not for me to address, really. I mean, it is for me to address in a light sense, but, like, that's not... I can't fit, like, that's psychological.
Yeah. That's
internal. Like, I can tell you that it's silly, but I know that won't penetrate your subconscious, so, like, there's that.
Oh, yeah.
There's something from going into the game and recognizing that you're inferior versus actually facing the laner and realizing that there's something, like, something's amiss. I've had that happen plenty of times. Like, I'll go into a game, for instance, and I will just instantaneously assume that the player is shit or something, and then due to their movements and how they do everything, I know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be like, okay, this guy's elo boosting, or it's like, something to that nature.
Yeah. But don't you feel like threatened when you realize that? Because when I go into lane and I realize this guy is better than me,
No, I think it's fun.
then I just shut down.
No, I think it's
completely.
fun. I think it's fun. Because that means that you're basically... Okay, so basically what ladder is, okay, there was an old good quote in StarCraft, and this is why I can't understand people that complain about playing against elo boosters. Like, every time I play against an elo booster or something, I get excited. Kind of like I got to play against Apto once. And even though it was one of the most frustrating fucking losses of my life, it was so fun, because Apto was so good. In relation to the other players. When you do get to play against these people that are, usually elo boosters are specialists at, like, 1 to 3 champions. And so when you do get to face them, like the challenger, elo booster people, whatever, it's fun. And I take joy out of it because I don't really actually care about the match, Like, maybe that's just me, but for the most part, in StarCraft, there was an old quote that, right, I don't remember exactly how it went, but it was something along the lines of, you pay LP to face better players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you get LP by worse players paying to face you. And so that's how you have to view it. So, like, if you do end up losing LP or something, not in every instance, you're just paying to get better. Like, that's all LP has to be.
That's a good way to see it, actually.
I mean, I guess. I don't think it's a bad way.
No, I think it's a great way.
So that's how you have to view it. That's why I can't understand people that when they're what is it? Kind of like when you play normals with a friend, right?
Yep.
If you're like if you're, like a diamond 1 or something, and you play a normal with a silver friend, and so there's other silvers in the game, and they're like, "Oh, you're ruining my fun," blah blah blah, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, you're fucking like, I mean, I guess if you just play the game for fun, yeah, then whatever, the game's being ruined, to some extent, but for the most part, like, they're just paying to get better.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
a great thought, actually.
So, yeah. Okay, wait. Friends, rivals, severely off-putting me, and ladder. What does this mean? Don't let me know. Don't let me hear that this is like about other Zed players.
No, actually, I always.
This is
always
like becoming like a fetish now at this point, man. Like, holy shit.
No, it's not Zed players. It's actually like friends who play other champions, and they're progressing. Like it's the same theme overall. Like they're progressing, and I'm not. That's the.
Okay, I'm gonna draw you something. Hold on.
What am I looking at?
I don't know. I'm trying to make some shit.
Okay, well. Oh, it's gonna be the shit analogy.
It's gonna be the shit analogy. You ready?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, sure.
No.
Are you gonna draw some corns for it as well?
Maybe. If you're dessert, I don't know what kind of shit this is. Jesus, never mind. Okay, so basically, I don't know how to draw like the stinky poos. You know, like the ones you see in like South Park or something. Okay, here you go. And look, we'll even give it like a nice little aroma. There you go. Isn't that beautiful? Do you like what you're looking at?
Yes. It's
Okay,
absolutely.
you're looking at all your friends that you're calling rivals. All right, now let's duplicate this.
Very
Okay.
accurate.
I know. Tell me about it. All right, hold on. Now, we're gonna. What's that card from Hearthstone? It's like Battle Ooze or some shit. Look at that. We got 2 of them. Okay, now, what we're gonna do here is, okay, little pieces of corn. Okay.
Those are weird pieces of corn.
Oh, they're gonna be fine. It's okay. Oh well, I don't. You need to go to your doctor. All right, so. All right. Oh, fuck. I don't know what happened there. Okay, so.
Okay.
All right. Now. Okay, so basically, this is all that's actually happening, man. I give this analogy all the time.
Yeah. I know.
Is that they're nobody, right? Unless you tell me that like your friend or rival is like in the LCS or like Challenger Series or something.
Well, he is going to be in the Challenge Series, but that's just one of them.
He's going to be in Challenger Series, and guess what that means? What month are we in right now? We're in March, right? Yeah, okay, we're in March. Do you know what that means? It means he's still a nobody for the next 9 months. Okay? Maybe around, like, December, people will begin, like, if he's actually really good, people will begin like, oh my god, this guy's totally gonna carry Challenger Series, and, like, he's gonna wreck face in LCS. And nothing's actually gonna happen. He's gonna become like Yasui from NA or whatever. Like, so when that happens, then you can, maybe feel a little bit sad or something. But whatever, that's life, okay? For the most part,
Yep.
this doesn't matter, and you just have to get it out of your head. Like, your friends don't fucking matter. Like, now your friends and rivals, you probably in League of Legends probably make more than them, right? I'm gonna just assume, like money wise. With Twitch and YouTube.
Well, I mean, they don't have Twitch and YouTube, so yeah, that's.
Okay, so then what the fuck do you care about?
Well, I mean, they're better than me, right?
Okay, but they're better than you by what? Like, what did they take 30 seconds to take a shit, and you took fucking 32? Like, what the fuck? Like, they're not. basically oh my god. Okay, like what are they? Like master or challenger?
Challenger.
Okay, so they're challenger. Well, that's a considerable difference. I mean, they're not. They're actually suddenly they just actually became Kim Jong Un, and they actually don't defecate. I don't know if you knew that, but but all right. So, oh fuck. Challenger, I guess, actually is a pretty big discrepancy with you, but it's not a discrepancy that like can't be achieved within a few months.
You seriously think that? I can go from Diamond 4 to Challenger in a few months?
Challenger's so fucking bad. I just got to go on NA the other day, or not the other day, but like a few weeks ago, right? Like I got to experience NA solo queue.
Yeah.
It is fucking. If EU is anything like that, yes, Challenger is absolutely terrible.
Well, I haven't played on NA, so I can't say for sure.
No, it's basically, I'm gonna assume the same thing. Maybe there's a little bit of a difference, like there was in other games. Like I don't think NA has actually ever been on top of any game except for like maybe fighting games, like Smash Brothers or something.
Not that I can remember. No,
I don't think
Smash
NA.
is the
Right,
only-
I think NA. I mean that's it, right? Like,
Yeah.
like, but when you say that EU is better than NA, it's something stupid that like maybe Gold 5 NA is like Silver 1 EU. You know, it's something like stupid. Like,
Yeah.
but anyways, like that I mean that's pretty much it, you know? Like you don't have to care about friends and rivals outperforming you in the ladder. You don't have to care about Challenger because it's something.
But doesn't
that's
that like insinuate that they're progressing like in a more effective way than I am? Like, does the like the steps back do they not
let's
like
say
insinuate?
let's say that you have two friends and you got like, or you have two other friends, okay? And you go to the casino together. All right? You know how the casino works, right? All right. So you all buy in at no limit 200, right? You're sitting there with $468 after a few hours. Your other friend has $678, dollars after a few hours. And then you have one asshole that went up like 3,200 or something.
Yep.
Jeez, I don't know why the fuck my dollar symbol, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's at 3,200. And then he decides, then the next day you guys play. And, you end up, you're like 572, this friend's sitting over there at like, I don't know, 300 something. And then this guy, again, makes like 1,600 something. Okay? Yeah. Now this is so bad, no limit 200, that it doesn't matter. Like, basically being good at this is like saying you're like the smartest kid in like the special ed class. Like, this doesn't mean anything, okay? This guy just realized that, like, the answer to every test, like, the letter, like, you just fucking circle in the letter D. You know what I mean? And he's, like, he found that out, and you guys clearly didn't pick on that up on that yet. So, like, whatever. But basically, like, he's sitting there, like, at a no-limit fucking 500 skill. Like, that's it. Like, that's all that's happening. I mean, this actually is not relative to poker. Like, the skill differential and gaps. But what I'm trying to relate it to is that, like, you're basically complaining because you're seeing him make more money than you. But in reality, he's very close to you because at the end of the day, you're both shitters. Like, you're both, you know what I mean? Like, this No Limit 500, like, fucking, there's people that, their blinds are 500, 1,000. You know what I mean? Like, your buy-in is 500 and people fucking low blind that. Like, like, your goal is to get here. Like, once you're here, like, you're fucking 500, 1,000 blinds, like, then you're actually someone. Okay?
I understand, yeah.
But you're the guy, because you have the YouTube and stuff, so even though he's playing at No Limit 500, some days he loses some days he wins some, but you have rake back. That's basically, like, what's going on right now, is you have rake back.
Wait,
so,
what's that?
Rake back is, so basically you pay a rake to the pot. So, like, let's say the pot's 100, and the rake is 3%, right? You end up, if you win the pot, you only get $97.
Okay, yeah.
Okay? You have rake back. Okay, so even though you lose 97, you'll eventually get 98. Okay? Like, you get the dollar back that your friend would never get back. You know what I mean? And that's what your YouTube and Twitch is you have rake back.
Okay.
Alright? And he's kind of fucking, he's like, you need rake back to live, but it doesn't actually matter. Like, that doesn't, Yeah. It doesn't mean anything. So, pretty much that. Also, because of tilt, we've already assessed it. I mean, I'm not a shrink, so I can't, I mean, beyond what I'm telling you right now, it doesn't, there's nothing different.
No.
Other, Oriana itemization. God damn it, Azoh. Look, we're going to do this together. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I hope you enjoy this.
Is this a frequent question?
No, here we go. Look, we're gonna go to google.com.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, but it's more specific. Like, it's not like general.
No,
What
you don't
build
need to be
Oriana?
more specific. You
But
don't need to be more specific. You're at no limit 200. You don't need to know that if I have one fucking, if I change this flat AP glyph to a scaling AP glyph, this will let me do this to wraiths at level 11. You don't need that. You know what I mean? Then what you're doing is you're making it like you're oversimplifying it. You know? You just need to understand the basics. That type of shit is for these people. You know what I mean? Like, once you're an LCS challenger, then you can message me about that. But you don't need to know that. For the most part, these runes and masteries that you're going to find... Hold on, what the fuck? That you're going to find right here. Look. So, Oriana build Faker. Okay? And you don't even need to click on, like, Faker. Like, you can probably just search Oriana on this site. I don't totally know. I think you can, right? Hold on. For a champion by name. Alright, hold on. So we click this. Look. You're never going to click this guy, okay? You're going to... I mean, Deft actually used to be a mid-main. I mean, I'm sure he has proper runes and masteries. You can, like... you're never... What the hell? What the hell? The fuck? He, like, comes in here looking like that guy from, like, behind enemy lines. Like, no, it's okay. Easy Hoon... You got, alright, so Easy Hoon, I mean, Faker's going to be on here somewhere. Nanye, that's really good. Bishu, Pepperino, I guess. Froggen, Selfie, Febivin, Alexich. Yeah, I mean, and you just come here and you click on it. You see different builds, you click on it, etc.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all you have to do.
But yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's still like, isn't it still relevant? Like, even at the no limit 200?
No, you're basically okay. Like, no limit 200. There's some stuff that's relevant that even like the worst of the players don't know, which is like the 4 times 2 rule, right? Which is it's literally the most basic math equation that exists in poker, right?
Okay.
So like, okay, if you need a straight, okay, like you have fucking Jack 10 and the board comes, 9-8 deuce, right? So hold on here, I'll just fucking write this out. All right, so like here, fucking, I don't know if you've ever played poker. Okay, you have Jack 10, okay?
Yep.
Board comes 9-8 2. Okay, what do you need to hit a straight? Well, there's 8 outs in the deck, okay? You need any queen and you need any 7. Okay? There's 4 queens, there's 4 sevens. That's 8 total outs, right?
Yep.
So what you're going to do is you're going to multiply that by 4 on this street, also called the turn, okay? So you have a 32% chance to hit, okay? And then if you miss, and this comes up a brick, then, whatever, it's a 5, okay? Then you multiply it by 2. So 8 times 2, you get 16% chance on the river.
Yep.
All right? So 1 in 5 times, basically, you'll hit it here.
Okay.
All right? And it comes up a queen. Congratulations. But it doesn't matter, all right? 4 times 2 rule. This is all you actually... This is basically knowing the most basic itemizations. Now there's also something else called, like, Solomon's Law, which is, like, when you have outs above 8 or something. So, like, let's say that your Jack 10 is suited, right? And, like, the 8 and the deuce are spades, okay? And your Jack 10 is spades. All right, so then you have other outs, okay? Because then you can get any queen, any 7, and then you can also get any spade. All right, so then you end up having 15 outs, okay, which would give you a 60% chance to win the hand from the flop, okay? Solomon's Law would then reduce all the number of outs above 8, and then you would minus that from your total percentage. So then what ends up happening is you have a 53% chance in all likelihood against a full table to win the hand, okay? Yeah. You don't need to do Solomon's Law. Like, that's, like, fucking stupid. And then you also determine that the guy sitting across from you is holding, X ace, and then this guy, over here is holding, ace queen or something. So then you have to factor in that one of these queens is dead, and then you don't need this. Like, this is irrelevant. Like, this is way beyond you, You just need to know that. Okay? The 4 times 2, 32% thing. Okay?
Okay.
Alright, that's pretty much it. Next champion to pick up, we went over that already.
Yeah, pretty much. The what was it? LeBlanc, Xerath, TF.
LeBlanc, Xerath, TF, Lulu, Annie.
Lulu, yeah. Annie, right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna pick up Annie. It just feels like is there really much to learn about playing Annie? Like until you learn the flash ult, what else? Like it's poking sure in lane, but like just I don't know. Is it a good pick like in general to like learn?
Annie? Sure.
Yeah.
It helps you think
Like-
about the game more.
But how?
Because
I didn't-
you don't, all her stuff is straightforward.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about positioning because all her
Oh yeah,
skill,
yeah, yeah,
you know what I
right,
mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I understand.
All you have to think about is did they misstep? Basically, Annie is kind of like a flowchart here. That like I'm gonna show you exactly why Annie bots Challenger. All right, we're gonna do a flowchart right now. Okay. Okay. So first we pick Annie. Okay. All right. And Jesus Christ, I can't even fucking write. All right, pick Annie. Okay. Flowchart. Get level 6. Okay. All right. Then we ask a question here, which is oh Jesus. Okay. Then it comes here, and then it's like, did enemy fucking... So this question, which is just an X, okay, is like, did enemy misstep? If the answer is yes, okay, then flash stun, okay? No,
Yeah.
do nothing. Literally, that's it. Like, okay, this is why Annie bots Challenger. All right, like,
Okay.
you do nothing, okay? And then rinse, wash, repeat. Basically, you know, like... And then it keeps
But,
going. Like,
when I play Zed at this point, I don't think about all those things. I know, I see instantly when he steps inside the threat circle, as we were talking about. I just know. I don't have to actually actively focus on like, okay, he's one like.
yeah, but you only
one
know
frame
about
away.
Zed.
Yeah, but like, doesn't that in itself help the game knowledge also? Because I don't have to focus on that. It's basically just intuitive. It's like the cerebral. What's it called? The
But
cerebral,
what you know about Zed is also gimped. Because
What
if
do
you
you mean?
truly understood and knew everything about Zed, you wouldn't be Diamond 4 right now.
No, you're right.
Right. So your game knowledge, or what you think is true, is actually wrong, you know?
Yeah.
It's like creationists. So, like, you know, I just don't want to... What? What? I go in...
No, we're gonna fire a lot of shots with that probably.
Alright,
but-
so, like, you know?
Yeah.
But no, that's completely fine.
Okay.
So you have to, like, you can say that you know it on Zed, but somewhere the theory is flawed, or, like, the logic is flawed.
No, I understand.
And that's pretty much all.
Then a more broader question: How does one like say hypothetically I actually do take all this advice to heart, and I actually with time climb, learn more champions, and like get to Challenger? How do you progress from there?
Like, once you get
sort of
Challenger?
Yeah. So like this is a question long from the future.
Basically, Challengers, like, you mean how to stand out, right?
Yeah.
I guess. Okay. Standing out, I mean, that's where it becomes intuitive. And if I knew the answer, I would tell you, but I don't. I don't know what makes Apto. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what makes Faker Faker. Like, some of it is probably, I mean, something of it is internal. Do you know what I mean? But it's not able to be chalked up to a simplified answer.
Okay.
Okay? Like, I can't just tell you how to stand out. I can tell you that most challenges are shit with 0 foresight and don't know how to resist death. I can tell you that. And if you just simply follow that guideline, you'll be in the top 50. But, like, if you want to basically be, like, a Forgiven or, like, a Reckless, you know, in 2014, or, like, you want to be, you know, you want to be, like, a Double Lift or an Afromu or something, I can't give you an answer, like, that you would understand. Not that you wouldn't understand an answer, but it would take, you know what I mean? It goes way beyond just something as simple as do this. Do you know what I mean?
understand.
But in terms of, like, Apto or something, he is a fucking enigma, because I can't understand. Like, I don't know what goes through his head. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you're asking me, well, how do I become fucking Michael Carlson, right? Like in
Yeah.
chess, and I'm like, well, yeah, good question, right? Like, but yeah. One thing that maybe you don't do that I'll tell you,
Yep.
is like this is just mechanics. Look at the face of the opponents that you're facing at all times, because it tells you where their cursor last was.
Wait, what?
You look at their face, because it tells you where their cursor last
Oh,
was.
the champion. Holy shit! I think
Yeah.
I thought you wanted me to look at the. Yeah, I was confused. Okay, look at. Wait, does that show the cursor?
Well, it tells you where the cursor was.
How?
Because okay, like if fucking he clicks over here, his eyes will look over here.
Yeah, but then he moves the cursor, doesn't he?
Then yeah, but it shows where it just was.
Ah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And like obviously he's gonna be moving every half a second. You know what I mean? So it shows you where his cursor last was
Okay, yeah.
to some degree. This is like what the absolute best Zeroth players do to predict like their ultimate. You know?
That could actually be useful, yeah.
Well, it can
Never
be
thought of
useful
it
for
that way.
Zed's Shuriken.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's a bitch to hit sometimes when people are actively really trying to dodge.
Yeah. So. In the chat.
That's the good emote.
Fuck. So, yeah, pretty much that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does that answer everything that you had right now? I mean,
I
it's the most I can like talk about without actually having ever seen you. You know?
Yeah, I understand that. No, it pretty much explains what I was asking about. Though, yeah, I would like to have also a live coaching session sometime
Mhm.
when you're available.
No. Okay.
But I guess we can discuss that in your Skype.
Okay. Yeah, that's no problem. We can do
All
that on
right.
Skype.
Just wondering, are you gonna upload this to YouTube or?
If you want me to.
Yeah, sure.
If you don't agree with
No,
it.
no, no. I was just wondering.